Hey YouTube!
What's up?
Okay. Welcome to another episode of Ask Two Beeps.
You came, you asked, we answered. You like that? It was like a twist on like the we came, we saw, we conquered.
I got it. What's that from? Who came and saw it and conquered?
Very, very beachy.
Who's that?
I don't know. So, you know the drill. You ask questions on Twitter and then we answer them. That's how this works.
Abundance of M asked, have you ever been to Stonewall?
Yeah, that's the place in the UK with all the stone things and the shadows.
That's Stonehenge.
Oh.
But Stonewall is an iconic location in New York City. It was the site of the first LGBTQ riots in New York City. And we've been there a couple times. I remember one time we went with a bunch of YouTubers. Do you remember that? That was a good time. And we also went with some viewers too.
It was after a meetup.
It was.
Yeah. B asked, what's your favorite memory together?
Oh my gosh, how do you pick just one?
Okay, I've got one. Okay, I don't know if you remember, but one time, right after we first got together, like 8 years ago, we just parked the car in a Home Depot parking lot. And it was raining outside, and you put your head in my lap, and I was just stroking your hair. It was like before we had to come back and face the real world at university again. And it was just so nice. It was just this little moment wrapped up in that car. We were just like so in love.
I remember that. It felt like we were at peace in that moment. I also remember the Taylor Swift song 15 started playing. And you're like, who's Taylor Swift? A memory I have from around the same time was after we saw the movie Weekend in theaters. It's a gay movie about two men who kind of meet and fall in love over this short time period of Weekend. But I remember that after we saw it, we felt very bolstered and confident, and we were like, we want to show our love to the world even though we weren't really out to like anyone. I remember we went to like Whole Foods and we were holding our hands together. That's a weird way of saying it. We were holding each other's hands and walking around, and we just felt so confident and in love in that moment, and it was inspired by that movie. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
You do?
We haven't been to Whole Foods since.
Speaking of gay movies, Paul asked, what was your favorite moment in Love, Simon?
I think it was right around when it first started to when it ended.
That clump right there. That was my favorite
About
part.
2 hours.
There's one scene where Simon comes out to one of his friends in his car, and it just reminds me so much of my experience coming out to my friends, because I had that exact same experience so many times. I would stop and park, you know, like in the high school parking lot or something like that. Hey, by the way, I'm gay. It just resonated with me so much, and so every time that scene comes out, I just like burst into tears because it just reminds me of my own experience.
I gotta go with the Jennifer Garner scene. Oh my god. It's like all of the feels, and it's so well acted. The culmination of like how it feels to come out.
So they hit the nail on the head with that scene.
Go see it if you haven't seen it yet. Jeebers.
See it like 5 times at least.
Yeah. Terry asked, if the Beeps could live anywhere, where would it be? For me, it's less about necessarily like the location and more about the homes. I've been watching this show on Netflix called The Most Extraordinary Homes in the World. You see all these crazy cool homes built by really creative architects, and I just want to live in a cool home.
I would live in London. Mel asked, will Beep One cut his hair? I don't know when that's gonna happen. Do you have any hair goals role models nowadays? I do have one new hair role model, and that is Jonathan from the new show Queer Eye, or I guess it's the reboot of Queer Eye.
Can you believe?
We are obsessed with it, and Jonathan just has this like long, luscious, straight hair. It's like parted in the middle.
Can you believe?
I cannot believe, because it just looks so good, and it looks good when he wears it up, it looks good down. He also has a really good beard. That's my hair goals right now.
Can you believe?
Zippy asked, what are you most looking forward to on your upcoming trip to China?
There are so many different things that we're gonna see on this trip. I don't know if I can pick one thing that I'm most excited for, because I'm excited for everything.
I think that there's one point where we're going to be riding bikes on top of an ancient wall, and like that sounds pretty cool. I'm just looking forward to experiencing different cultures, because that's really what traveling is about for us, and also having a meetup.
The details of that will be in the description below, so check it out if you're going to be in the area, because we'd love to meet you. Oliver asked, who is your first male celebrity crush? I think I've talked about my first male celebrity crush. Do you recall who that is?
I'm trying to remember. It's the Wolverine guy.
Nope.
No, just tell me.
My first crush was Aaron Carter.
Oh, right.
You knew that.
I kind of did, I think. Yeah.
And I actually met Aaron Carter a couple of years ago, and I got some butterflies.
I definitely had some feels for Frankie Muniz.
Oh yeah, I kind of had a crush on him too.
And I think at the time I was like, I really want to be a child actor. I really want to be Frankie Muniz. And it's like, no, I just like was crushing on him a little
Oh my
bit.
god, I went through the same phase.
I think everybody does. It's the Frankie Muniz phase. David Caulfield asked, where's the most risky place you've been intimate?
I think it was on a beach.
I think it was the beach. I think it was the beach.
It was the beach, definitely the beach.
It was the beach.
Chris asked, do you like orange juice with or without the pulp?
It's gotta be with the pulp.
I like the pulp.
You need so much pulp that it's like you are eating an orange. Like I want to chew my orange juice.
Dark Gold Game asked, what is your relationship with pornography and how did that play a role in your sexual identity?
Pornography and I are boyfriends. That's our relationship.
We have an open relationship with pornography.
I don't know. I think it definitely helped me realize what I'm into, and it helped me realize that I was in fact gay. Going through puberty and like, what should I look up in porn? And I'm like, well, I keep looking at gay porn. That's probably a sign.
I actually didn't really start watching porn until college. Mostly because I was just such a techno noob and I didn't know how to use incognito mode.
And you're afraid that like your parents are gonna look at your like internet.
Right, yeah, that was like every kid's fear, wasn't it? But actually you were the person that kind of taught me a lot of the tricks. So I really started watching porn when you became my roommate.
I taught you how to watch porn?
Because of that, I don't know if it formed my sexual identity as much, but once I started to watch it, I realized like, oh, this is what I'm into.
Aaron asked, someone visiting America for the first time, where would you recommend visiting?
America is such a giant country. It's kind of difficult to pinpoint specific spots for like one trip. I think if I were to pinpoint one place that I've been that was really, really cool and kind of off the beaten path, Zion National Park, which was in, I believe it was in Utah, and it was a really, really beautiful spot. It was unlike anything I'd ever seen before. There were these tall cliffs and rivers and some desert. Unimaginable how beautiful our country is.
I would go to New York. I just think there's no place like it. There's so much culture, there's so much that's accessible from the city, and I know we live here, so we might be a little biased. I would go to New York.
Interesting.
So thanks for watching. That's all the time we have for today. Be sure to follow us on Twitter and Patreon, and we'll do more Ask TVs.
And we'll also have all of our meetup information about Hong Kong in the description as well. I'm Beep.
I'm Beep.
We're two beeps.
Peacing out.
Beeps out.
Beeps out.
We talked about it a little bit in this video, but we also made a video about Love, Simon and our reactions to it. If you'd like to see that,
It's over here. Do it. Click it.
click that link.
All of it.
And also go see the movie because it's special and spectacular
Good.
film.
So good.